Hi, you guys. Hi, good morning, good evening, good night for all of y'all. I wanted to share this story with you, and it's a story I've been wanting to share for a long time. In January of 2015, I fell in the ice. We had a really bad snowstorm. I fell in the ice and I broke my leg to in several parts. My right leg, from the knee down, it was just severely damaged. I was taken to the hospital, and I just happened to come in contact with this doctor that saved my leg. None of the other doctors could actually get the orthopedic doctors. None of them could actually get there to the hospital. They were iced in or in their driveways, or they just couldn't get there. And this doctor just happened to be walking by my X-ray, and he said, "I need to see this person. I need to see who this person is." And so I come into the hospital. In shock because the pain is just so severe. They did give me some pain medicine, which kind of toned me down a little bit, but I've had 3 kids, and this pain was worse than having a baby. Let me just tell you that right now. And so the doctor came in with a smile on his face, and he kind of reminded me of House because his humor was really dry. But he was very exact about what he was going to do. So he told me surgery was going to take about 6 hours, and that the insurance company actually wanted my leg to be amputated, and he fought the insurance company over it because he said, "I'm going to save her leg." So it was a pretty complicated procedure where they had to rebuild my knee and then fuse my tib and fib bones together, and then put metal plates beside those bones to hold my leg up. So the procedure was successful, and the hard part was actually learning how to walk again. I was told by many doctors that wasn't my surgeon that I would probably walk with a limp. I probably will need my cane for the rest of my life, or they just told me I never would walk again. And that caused me to be very discouraged. I couldn't believe that people with these PhDs had absolutely no hope in me, except for my surgeon. He was the only one that had hope that I was going to walk again. And so I started my journey of doing what I need to do to get back on my feet. And it took probably about a year. And I'm walking now. So, but during that time, I really learned a lot about people. Like, for example, at the job that I was working for, I was out of work off the job for about 3 months. And I got a call from their HR department saying that we are going to code you out as a person that's abandoned their position. And I said, "So basically, are you terminating me?" They said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, then go ahead and do that so I can do whatever I need to do to combat this." And they're like, "No, we're not going to terminate you. We're going to give you 3 more weeks to come back to work, and then we'll proceed from there." So being a single mother of 3 children, and having to be faced with that reality, I was not going to allow them to terminate me. So one of my sisters, she said, "Well, why don't you get a left foot pedal?" because the leg that was damaged was my right leg. And I was like, okay, I'll get a left foot pedal. And I had it installed, and I taught myself within a couple of hours how to drive with my left foot. So I drove myself to work, and I would pull myself out the car with my walker, and then I would limp over to the back of my car and pull out my my wheelchair. And then I would proceed to push myself into work. And, that was kind of hard. That was like one of the hardest parts about going to work was just, yes, the parking lot was wheelchair accessible, but it wasn't really easy for me to get in and out of my wheelchair. And when I rolled into work, a lot of people tried to help me. Like a lot of people that work there. They would ask me if I needed anything to drink at my desk. Please let me know, and they'll go fill my drink, or if I need my lunch heated up, they'll go get my lunch and heat it up and bring it to my desk. Whatever I needed, they were very nice. And one of these managers, which is like a very narcissistic manager, he literally said, you're getting more attention than I am. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And so he actually complained to HR about it. And I couldn't believe it. HR brought me to the office, and the HR person tried to say like he understood what I was going through because he had whiplash and his neck really hurt. And I'm like, honey, you don't know what I went through. My leg was twisted all the way around and had to be untwisted and rebuilt. So no, your whiplash is not the same. So he told me in a nutshell that legally, I should not be soliciting other associates for help, and that they're not supposed to help me. And that's just one of their policies. He never showed me any documentation or anything like that. So, I left there, and I was like really trying not to get angry because people were just trying to help me because they were just being nice people. I wasn't trying to solicit help. It was just that people there had some kind of moral compass and felt like they needed to help me. And so that guy eventually left HR, and the manager that complained on me, he was still there, but I never really spoke to him again because I was like, I don't know if I can deal with a narcissistic person that's so narcissistic that thinks that someone in a wheelchair is getting more attention than they do, and couldn't have that around them. It just didn't make sense to me. So about a year and a half passed, and I moved out of the department where the narcissist was. And I was walking, and people couldn't believe it. They're like, "You're walking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm walking." I did my own physical therapy. I did have a physical therapist that came like once a week, but I would go on YouTube and I would study certain physical therapy steps to help rebuild my leg because my leg had atrophied after being in a wheelchair all that time. So I went from being this poor little girl that was in a wheelchair to being this person that was running in the little gym that we had. So, and the doctor that told me I was never going to walk again, I made sure that I made an appointment with that particular doctor so I could walk in there and tell her a thing or two. And I was like, "I'm walking, so what's up?" "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." I'm like, "Yeah, you weren't. And you weren't trying to expect that." So what my message to you is that you're going to have trials and tribulations in your life that are some trials and tribulations are just hell. And that's where you find out what kind of person you are. And that's what you find out what kind of people are around you are. And you'll see their true faces. And regardless of whether you're walking or not walking, or whatever disability or non-disability that you have, you should always believe in yourself and believe in a higher power, because that is going to get you through. And I also feel like my children, my three beautiful girls, got me through a lot of that situation. They were always very happy, dancing around, playing around, and the time that I got off to spend with them was just priceless. But don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. They don't know what kind of person you are inside. They are basically being prejudicial towards you. So don't listen to them. They're haters, and make those haters your motivator. And that's all I have. And thank you for listening. Please subscribe at the bottom for me. And have a good night. Bye.